Hello everybody, CW here. I do a little bit of smoking here. I got some striper that I caught the other day. Knew I didn't have time to cook it, so I flash froze it. Flayed it all up and flash froze it. So we're gonna smoke this. We're gonna start a brine and we're gonna let it brine for at least a day and a half, hopefully 2 days. And I'll probably get to smoking this on Tuesday. So this is gonna be a multi-part. For you, it's gonna be instant. It's going to take a couple days to put this together. So this is fresh striped bass. I got 4 good sized chunks there, probably enough to feed at least 7, 8 people. So I'll have some and I'll save some for another day. All right, here's the fish. I cut out most of the red, most of the bloodline. I'm not a big hater of the bloodline, so I just took out the main majority of it. There's a little bit left there. And then I've got a mixture here of 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar, 1/4 of a cup of white sugar, 1/3 of a cup of kosher salt, 1/4 of a cup of white wine, 2 cups of water, a teaspoon of garlic powder, onion powder, and peppercorns. And then I threw in some dill too, because I really like dill. It called for celery salt, but I wanted to cut back a little on the regular salt, being as I got so much of the kosher in there. I just used dill in place of it. And then 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire and soy. And then mix that all together and then pour it over the fish. Now this is going to be covered and stuck in the bottom of the refrigerator for a good 36 hours, 40 hours. So do this a couple days ahead and then we'll get on to the next step. All right, everybody, here we are about 12 hours in. It's about 12 hours, yep. And what I did was last night I flipped these, so I put the fillets that were on the top on the bottom and the ones that were on the bottom on the top. And then first thing this morning I got up and I did the same thing. So now we're back the way it was last night. In a couple of hours after dinner tonight, I'm going to flip these again. So these 2 fillets will be flipped upside down and be put on the bottom. Because you can see just a little bit sticks out of the brine. Just a little bit here and a little bit here, just corners and edges. And I want to make sure that it gets a really good soak. Also, you'll notice the texture has begun to change. The fish is much stiffer, more rigid, and it's actually shrinking a little bit. You'll see that, and that's normal. That's what you're looking for. The salt and the brine in there is pulling moisture out, but it's got the neat tribute to it that it doesn't really put sodium in. It doesn't make it really salty. And when these come out, we're not going to rinse them off. We're just going to pat them off, just pat them dry, and then we're going to let them sit. And I'll show you that Tuesday morning when we take them out and put them in the smoker. So I just want to show you, give you an update. The dill is coming to the top. Everything's looking really good. The fish is firming up nice, so we're coming along nicely here. Everything looks really good. And I also gave it a really good mix to make sure that all the spices and all the sodium and all the sugar was all mixed up really good. Now this was really large, coarse ground rock salt, not iodized salt. So that's the key. You can't use iodized salt. You'll make it salty with that. But the rock salt, not rock salt, kosher salt, the large crystal kosher salt. All right, stand by, more to come. All right, here we are Tuesday morning. Took them out of the brine. You can see they completely changed color. No more white fish. Now they're that brown color. And they shrunk up a little bit and they're good and firm. So they're going to sit out here for at least an hour or so, get to ambient temperature and dry off. They should be tacky when they're ready for smoke. All right, we're going to go on the smoker and Probably an hour. Stand by. All right, they're in the smoker. Smoking has commenced. Stay tuned. All right, let's do a 2-hour check. I'm just gonna check the chips and make sure we're not. And there's 2 hours. Looking good. Looks like we still got some chips going on. Got some water in there. Got a little smoke coming out. So here it is. It finished a little quicker than I thought. It was done in about 4 hours. And I finished it off with some bourbon, some honey, and a little bit of butter, melted butter. Brushed it on as a final coating. So there it is. Taste test will be in a few minutes. We set it on the table. Got a nice full dinner plan. Got a little rice for the fish. It'll be a nice time. Guests are arriving. This is gonna be it. CW out. God bless everybody.